Hello and welcome. This is Gordon De Silva, and I'm the MD of Gordon's Knight British Accountancy Awards winner 2014. And here's a frequently asked question on newly VAT registered businesses. And I say 5 things to ask, there's probably more like 10, but if I don't want to scare you off just too early on in the proceedings. The advice should be taken with advice from your accountant, your financial advisor. It's recorded in August 15, so it may or may not be relevant when you're watching this. So please always get advice before taking action on any videos you see anywhere, because you never know online when they've been recorded or how relevant they are to your situation. And so here's the question, and it was posted on a Facebook group that I'm a member of, and it says, it's not a bad problem to have, but as of next month I will have to be VAT registered for the first time. Is there anything you can point out to prepare for that you learned when you became registered? So that's really my starting point, and typically when I work on clients' affairs, I don't just start with the problem and answer the question. I sort of go and just look at the wider nature of the issue. And so here we have, the first thing I want to talk about is historic registration. Why are we now registering for VAT and haven't registered before? It really depends on your customers and your customer mix. If you're dealing with the public, then usually later is better than sooner. If you're dealing with businesses who are already VAT registered, then earlier is better than later in most cases, because usually we can get a £2,000, £3,000, one of our clients, we actually managed to get a £7,000 uplift in profits just because of that one principle. But anyway, it's too late for the person asking this question because they haven't been registered for all these X months. It could have been 1 month or 10 months or 5 years to get to this VAT registration limit, which could be anywhere from 70 odd to 80 odd thousand, depending on when you're watching this. So careful of the deadlines and the amounts. But then the date becomes relevant. What is the date for registration? Because the date is not necessarily what most people think is the date you actually pass the threshold. There can be a month to 8 weeks leeway sometimes between between the date you pass the threshold and actually becoming registered for VAT. Now, of course, if it's in your advantage to be registered for VAT, you want to accelerate that and get it in sooner. If it's in your advantage to not be registered for VAT till the last possible moment, get all your sales in before you register and delay the registration date as long as possible. Again, the numbers make a big difference, and advice should be specific to you. If you are a business that deals with services mainly and you don't have very much VAT to claim back, then certainly look at the flat rate scheme right from the outset. It is probably going to be in your interest and can be worth a lot of money to you, courtesy of the tax man. It doesn't happen often, but this is one case where it does. There are limits to when you can use it and how it's used and how you report it. Be careful you don't fall foul of those, because they're very easy. The rules are a bit counterintuitive, but keep an eye on those. Get your accountant to make sure they're aware of it, or better still, program your software to do it for you automatically. Remember that if you are selling to the public, your prices are up 20% from the day you become VAT registered. So if you're dealing with the public, of course, that's why you want to delay VAT as long as possible. It's one of the things you need to factor into your thinking, and it's how we manage to get lots of extra profit into non-VAT registered businesses before they hit the threshold. So prices go up and your services become instantly less attractive on price, so you need to really ramp up the value and how you position yourselves and your services. I'm sure you're more than happy with how you do that right now. Again, as I said, keep in mind who your customers are. If your customers are businesses, VAT makes absolutely no difference to them. If your businesses are the public, who cannot claim the VAT back, then VAT makes a big difference to them, because you're 20% more expensive than your competition who are not VAT registered. So bear in mind, in some trades there's some dodgy stuff goes on. Let's not get into that, but you're running a clean business, great. Just be careful who your customers are and pick the right solution for you based on that. Remember, when you become VAT registered, there may be some stuff you're holding in stock that you may be able to claim a VAT for. Check with your accountant, check with your VAT office. What are you holding in stock? What capital goods have you bought recently that you may be able to claim VAT on? Did you buy a PC in the last 3 months that you've got in your business? You haven't lost the VAT on that. keep an eye on those things. They're important and can save you a lot of money. Use online accounts. This is our favorite. It is the premium brand out there. It's not the premium because of its expense. It's premium because it is amazing to use. It's great collaboration for us and our clients. It helps us then tap into giving you alerts every month. If you're a client, to tell you which metrics are slipping and doing well. We tell you, how much profit you've made, how much money you can take out, how much tax you owe. All of these things are possible with collaboration through decent online software. This just being one of a whole load of them. We just like this because it's been around a long time. It's brilliant. It's well designed. It's easy to use. Anyway, enough of that. There's other blogs on that. So as you begin to see, tax planning is critically important. And if you don't plan your taxes until it's too late, opportunities can pass you by. And the number of times I get asked by a client, we did this, what can I do with that? It's usually too late. So for example, the other day I was asked by a client, I bought a property, I did some work, I've rented out, and then I've rented out the property, and can I claim those expenses? And I said, unfortunately not, because you bought it, did the work, and then rented it out. Had you rented it out at a lower rent, did some work while they were in, and got some concessions on rent, and then put the rent up when the work was done, you would have got the repairs as allowable in many cases. Again, talk to your accountant. Planning is important. If you've got a good accountant, talk to them. That's what they're there for, not to be discussed after the event is done. It's too late then. Do it at the beginning when you're thinking about doing things. Other resources, we've got a whole load of videos on VAT planning, on VAT, on flat rate scheme, on online accounting, and the whole range. Explore the site. There's loads of good videos on there, or ask us a question and we've probably got a video, or we'll create one for you, just like we did here. Next steps, talk to your accountant, look on the Inland Revenue websites, get some advice, do the thinking you've done here. You've asked a whole group of people you trust to give you some input. Here's some input I'm giving you, and as a result, my clients and potential clients are getting the same input, which is fantastic. Thank you for asking that question. If you need to talk to us, then by all means talk to us. Our contact details are here. On the right hand side of this video, you will see a 10-minute quick fix call. If you want just a quick 10 minutes and you're not a client and you just want free 10 minutes of fast solutions based advice, then by all means click the button, book a time in for us. If you are a client, of course, you can do that several times and whenever you need to. And if you are a premier client, you can click on the strategy call. That's even better. If you haven't had one of those for 3 months or so, definitely get in there. We keep inviting you to do that. Please get your strategy call ready so we can plan your next 3 months projects. That's basically all I have to say on the subject. Hopefully it's been of value. Thank you to the person who asked this question on the Facebook group. Really appreciate it. It's given me a bit of inspiration on a Saturday morning just to go, hey, you know what? I'm going to record a FAQ for my clients on this subject because I'm sure it'll be useful to potential and existing clients. Thanks a lot and speak to you soon. All the best. Bye-bye.